loves music.
Okay.
1/3, just an old curmudgeon.
Okay.
Just wants us to read books before the show. Today, one team is boring, one team is scoring. Why Tom Brady says the Bucs are clicking at the right time. Meanwhile, new report. It's going to be an uphill battle for Lamar to play this weekend. I'm just going to call it. He's not going to play. Why Nick thinks we may have seen the last of Lamar in Baltimore. And finally, it's Wednesday.
Wow.
You know what that means? It's time for the greatest segment in all of sports television. And by it's time for the greatest segment in all of sports television, I mean in an hour from now. So stay tuned. I'm Kevin Wildes alongside Chris Broussard. You got to say something about the Chiefs?
Well, I'm going to say something about the Tiers.
Oh, good.
I mean, it's our first playoff edition of the Tiers, everybody. And, because it's first week of the playoffs, all 32 teams make an appearance.
Oh, good.
All 32 teams are included in this week's Tiers.
I think that's
exciting.
smart.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Okay.
The committee,
That'll be
4
interesting.
PhDs amongst us, pretty smart group of guys.
We're starting with Dak's legacy. On the line in a battle versus Brady in Tampa Bay, Jean-Jacques Taylor, writing in the Dallas Morning News, never had we had so little confidence in a 12-win team playing a team that's under 500 in the playoffs. But we feel that way because we know Brady's past and Dak's present. The Cowboys paid Dak $160 million over 4 years to win playoff games. He needs to get his second playoff win Monday, or a negative narrative concerning his career will start to form. I thought it was a good point. Do you think Dak's legacy is on the line?
All right. I want to be very fair here, and I want to remind the audience, I don't think I am known as like a super Dak Prescott strong critic or a huge Dak Prescott supporter. So I don't want this to sound too harsh. But Dak does not have a legacy.
At all?
No. What's DeMar DeRozan's legacy?
Oh,
certain
mid-range?
guys don't have legacies. And he can start to build one theoretically this postseason. But right now, Dak Prescott, in the regular season and the playoffs, is Kirk Cousins with mattress commercials. Kirk Cousins don't have no legacy. He has now. Kirk Cousins, I guess, has a negative legacy, if you will, about the night games and nationally televised games, and Dak doesn't have that. Since Dak's rookie year, he's been to the Pro Bowl once. He's been to round 2 once. He has one playoff win. He's never led the league in any statistical category until this year, when he led the league in interceptions.
That's a start.
He's thrown for 4,000 yards twice. Not 5,000, 4,000 twice. Yet, last year the discussion was, what'd you say, bro? Is he not? You didn't say this, but you reminded the audience yesterday. Is he going to throw for 6,000? Forget 40 touchdowns. He's thrown for more than 30 touchdowns once. He turns 30 this summer. And up to this point, he peaked as a rookie. He's fine. And if you have a fine quarterback, because you're seeing what teams that don't have a quarterback, the NFL hell they're in, you stick with them. But Dak Prescott's legacy needs to be saved for guys that are a few tiers above Dak Prescott. So no, his legacy's not on the line because there's not a legacy to put on the line.
I agree with Nick wholeheartedly on that. That was my first thought when I saw this question, was like, legacy? He doesn't have a legacy. All right, legacy is reserved for the all-time greats, and even it's not that he's just, he's only played 7 years. Mahomes, we can talk about in terms of legacy.
Yeah, Mahomes.
Okay,
Burrow's
I don't even know that
one.
we're yet talking about Josh Allen in terms of legacy.
But they're
He's
building it. Yeah.
as is Burrow.
The Prince has
But
one.
yeah, no, stop it. High school, yeah.
Royal lineage.
Gatorade loves him.
Okay.
All right, but no, none of that. And the article used the terms legacy building and narrative. Like the quote you read was that's right. Because there is a narrative, obviously, around Dak. And right now, his narrative is on the line. Right now, the narrative, or there are rumblings, let's put it that way. The rumblings around Dak are that he can't beat the good teams, for the most part. He did this year sometimes. But he can't beat the good teams, and he's not going to deliver in the playoffs. He's 1-3. All right? That's the narrative. Those are the rumblings. If he loses to a 45-year-old Tom Brady from an 8-9 team, the rumblings will become a roar. And next year, I was thinking the same guy. Dak, instead of going into the season next year like he did this year and the year before, where it was like, can he lead the Cowboys to a Super Bowl? They may win the Super Bowl.
MVP?
Right, all that. The narrative going into next season will be, he can get you some wins. They're going to win 11, 12 games. It would be similar to Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
Like, he's a good quarterback, but he's not good enough to get you over the hump.
Okay,
that's what's on the line.
What if he wins? What if he defeats Tom Brady and ends Tom Brady's Tampa Bay little mini run?
It doesn't do nearly as much positive as it would do negative.
Well, that's correct.
Because he's got to get at
win
least to the
multiple games.
NFC Championship game. A lot of people have beat Tom Brady in the playoffs. Nick Foles and some not so great
Ryan Tannehill.
players have beat Tom Brady.
That seems like
this is in order to move if they beat Tom Brady and then lose in round 2, it is a nice moment, the beating of Tom Brady, but you are the favorite. Right. You are the better team by any metric. It's what you're supposed to do, even though it appears on this show it's a somewhat unpopular pick. I just think, do we think Matt Ryan has a legacy?
Yeah, it's a bad one. It's losing the Super Bowl.
Okay, no. So that's true. Sure, there's that moment of blowing the biggest Super Bowl lead. But I meant, my point is, I think by any metric, Matt Ryan has accomplished far more in this league than Dak.
Yeah.
Far more. Won a league MVP, got to multiple conference championship games, got to a Super Bowl. Like and because he's the Cowboys quarterback, because he's in all the commercials, because he came on so strong as a rookie 4th rounder out of nowhere. That was his best year. That was the Cowboys' best year. That's the closest they've been to a conference championship game since he's been there. We just kind of all assumed, I think, that, well, that's the beginning of something great. And you wake up 6 years later, and that's as good as it ever was. And in some ways, Dak's gotten better as a passer. He can hit more tight window throws. He can throw the ball downfield better. But in some ways, he's regressed as a passer. He threw 4 times as many picks this year as he did that rookie year, even though he played 4 fewer games. And so I think sometimes with great guys, we act like their legacies can be damaged by individual games too easily. And I think with, I don't want to say mediocre, but good-ish guys, we talk about them like they have a legacy when they don't.
You don't.
All right. Let's move from the team that is scoring to the one that is boring, the Tampa Bay
Buccaneers. Not going to let this one go.
You should.
I'm working on it.
You really should.
You
got to come up with some different flavor or something.
I do. I will have a few different versions of it. Tom Brady, who's never lost to the Cowboys, said the Bucs will be ready and healthy in his podcast. Take a listen.
I'm hoping we're pretty healthy. I mean, I believe we're going to be as healthy as we've been all year, which is kind of exciting, to get some guys back that haven't been in there and then, see if we can go play our best football. Because I even said after the game, it sucks being 8-9. You're playing against teams that have way better records, 12-5, whatever it is. But you know what? The only thing that matters is who wins